Hey YouTube, I thought I'd just do a quick video here about this Stihl 015 015 or whatever you want to call it manual. I don't see a lot of these. I don't think I've ever seen one of these, but I know people have them. But if you need any of the information in any of these manuals, please tell me. I'll gladly give it to you. I have this plastic sheet that I keep it in. It's pretty thick plastic. I'm guessing it came with it. I mean, it can't go to anything else, I don't think. First you have your parts list. There's your title. There's my serial number. It's in German, which doesn't really help. But see, you got German, then you got English, and then I think that's French. I'm not sure. It looks French. I can speak a little German, but not enough to decode what some of these things say. I mean, and here you got your big parts maps, and you know how to do some things. You got all your parts numbers you'd ever need. I mean, some people are dying to find this stuff and they can't. You got all this, tons of parts numbers, and you got your numbers to match up so you can actually see it, so you can see everything you need. And you just come over here. I mean, like, maybe you want a spark plug. So spark plug's number 25. So you go over to number 25. This is 111040070005, that's in German, so we're going to skip that. We're going to go to the English part. It says Bosch WSR6F. See, it's pretty easy. And then they give you some other thing, like you can use a champion too. There's a champion number right there, which is the normal one. And then you go over here, there's more. There's the handle, the handbrake. Got all this German writing, English, I'm guessing French. More illustration B from another view, or continue because there's so many parts. There's that, tons of other things, sprocket, clutch shoes, that kind of stuff. You can see all those little parts in there. There's a lot of little tiny parts to a chainsaw that you never knew that would be in there. Here's your chain brake. Mine doesn't have this. A lot of them don't. I mean, in the 70s, I don't think they cared. Here's some other things. German. Tons of things. See, I think nowadays they don't give you this kind of stuff nowadays when you buy something like a Stihl. They'll give you this in-depth kind of thing. And all this parts like rewind, starter rope, that kind of stuff. There, ignition, points and condenser kind of stuff. Carburetor. Everything you need for your carburetor is in there. And they'll tell you exactly what you need. Valve kits, gaskets, strainers, springs, inlet needles, covers, everything. Carburetor's HDC17B. That's what it says. You need that. Rear handle if you have it. Mine does not have a rear handle. Mine's a top handle. Your scabbard, your scrunch, your files, and some other thing. I don't know what it's called. We'll see. A locking screw, whatever that is. On the back, it just decodes symbols for you, once again in German. Yep, that's the part list. Tell me if you need a part. I can do it. I can tell you the number for you, and you can go to Stihl and get the new ones. Mine, I have history dating back, like work history, dating back to 87. So this thing's been well taken care of. 87, you can see it says case gasket, fuel filter, crank seals, whatever TP means. Mine does not have. Mine points and condenser was taken out for electronic ignition, which I'm kind of glad they did. And this is a manual on that electronic ignition. And here's table of contents. More numbers like specs, max allowing speed, idle speed, cylinder bore, CCs, carburetor, spark plug, all that kind of stuff is in here. Fuel mixture. 1 part oil to 25 parts gasoline. Here's bar lengths and chains. Uses a 1/4 inch chain which I think those are pretty hard to find nowadays, and it says 10, 12, 12. I have a 14-inch. The different models of them, troubleshooting, and this is like my favorite part. They give you in-depth pictures on how to fix everything, like how to fix your clutch and everything, all the fancy tools. It's amazing. They don't include these in chainsaw things anymore. How to tune your carburetor, that kind of stuff. They put that in there. They probably get after you with the EPA. More stuff. This is Disassembly. How to disassemble the whole unit. Taking out the piston and the crankshaft and this piston head. Other things. Pressure testing the crankcase. That's what that is. With some kind of weird tools. Or ignition system. I don't have points, so I don't need to look at that. Electrode gapping, that kind of stuff. Stuff that's really hard to find if you really need it. You don't have a manual. Other stuff. This is Magneto gap. A whole bunch of other things. This is cool. You see what's wrong, and then you just follow the things. You guys used these before. Whole bunch of other stuff. Installing a new starter rope, exact directions and how to do that. And they're not just like crappy directions either, they're step-by-step directions that really are useful. How to adjust the oiler. This is kind of weird, a picture of how the carburetor works. All the little holes that gas goes through and stuff. How to disassemble the carburetor, the top of the carburetor. How do you rebuild the carburetor, all that kind of stuff. I have all the receipts for mine when it was worked on, all 86, that kind of stuff. It's older than 86. I don't have the original purchase one, but you get the idea. That's the work papers. The final one is this chainsaw manual. I mean, it says don't smoke while you use your chainsaw. Whole bunch of other things, kind of, you know, basic. Obviously not to do with your chainsaw. How to cut stuff and that kind of stuff. How often to do a whole bunch of things, but yep. It's printed in West Germany. Yep, if you need any of the things in here, please tell me. I'll give them to you. Well, I'll tell you what they are. Just give me a pretty good description of what you need, and I'll tell you. But thanks for watching. I hope you guys found this interesting somewhat. If not, just tell me. Thanks.